Hi, this is Philip again, and in this video I will going to demonstrate how we can start your JavaScript without any framework. Like the popular one is React JS. So if you're just a started front-end developer, then I think this video will help you to start your own JavaScripting object-oriented programming. Simple way, I gonna start this series with a simple JavaScript calculator interactive functionality. So we're gonna start here, and I think I have copied this sample from the outside source, and just to show you how we are going to transform that with a different best practices in building your JavaScript. And then we're gonna look at what are a few things that we need to know, especially for the inspired developer that just started their career as a front end. Then you must understand that JavaScript is a kind of a prototype uh, oriented language, object oriented language. And what we saw in every tutorial, I think as my first career started, I did not find an easy way how you can learn in JavaScript. So nobody will able to help me. But what I only uh, found that it keeps me take longer to understand how this JavaScript. But then because I've been doing this in a different way of doing a project, it is not on the web developer. And just last 8 years ago, I started to study as a web developer. So I can easily understand what exactly the object-oriented programming. But then there are best practices that we're gonna follow. Like for example, the class based uh, best practices in building your JavaScript. So later I'm gonna show you, and we're gonna transform this simple calculator into a class-based JavaScript oriented object oriented programming. And later we also going to transform it into a prototype JavaScript object oriented programming. So what exactly our objective here is how you are going to understand that it will make this a simple calculator becomes interactive, like how this value like 7, 8, 9, it will display to this element, and it will also calculate exactly the same on a calculator. Like we're gonna say click equals. So how it happens like that. So this is the one thing that in the first piece of my understanding that I could not really get it right away. So now I'm gonna help you out how you can simply understand to this thing. And if you are just a starter, then this is the good thing to know. Now here we go. This is the code that I found outside source, which you see here, like they are building an element. So this is the following element under to this container. We have 7, which is the standard attribute of an input element. And you will see here there is event listener. So this is what we call event listener. You will going to look at it. What are those available event listener in different elements? Because there are few elements that has not commonly inherited this kind of event. And then what exactly these click numbers are purposely added to this? This is a function. If you look at down to the script, I think this one I just added it just to see the performance of this inline script. So basically, if you are uh, joining to the team and you are just started JavaScript developer, then you will really difficult for you to start how you're going to start building your own functions. So mostly as a JavaScript, then you can easily understand jQuery. So that is the first choice. We are going to embrace the library of jQuery because there is what a shortcut things happen to jQuery that it is eventually uh, avoided. I mean, you will not see what exactly the JavaScript performing behind on that because JavaScript, oh no, sorry, the jQuery are hiding to that kind of functions. I mean, you will not really see exactly how the JavaScript performs. And now in this video, we are going to work with a plain JavaScripting is what we call the vanilla JavaScript, and a few things we can also add ES6 or ES5 version of JavaScript. So that's it. Now let's do this transforming to this into a typical class-based functions. So if you see here, we just added a one three lines of JavaScript, and here there is also added an event which is bound to this input element. So that's the reason if we're going to click this click numbers, then it will result to form, the name of the form, and the display result value, which is the name of this input result. So we're gonna look at in this web. If you're gonna inspect, you will see how it is rendered. So you will see here name, and if you do not understand the dev inspector, then this is the way how you are going to inspect your apps. Like this one, you see the display result. If you look at into your line 13, it is written here a display result. It's the same way what happened to the other element. All right, so now let's go back and we're going to transform the JavaScript without this adding an event listener in inline for this element. Okay, so now let's open a new folder. Let's go ahead, open a new folder. I think I already created one. Then we are going to build our calculator from scratch. I think it doesn't take really much time. Okay, so let's go ahead and HTML. Now here we're gonna start our HTML blueprint, or we are going to construct the foundation of our HTML. Okay, so what is the prerequisite in building your HTML? We have an head, then next is the body. The body, we're going to build all of your dimension. Yes, division of your container. And here, what exactly we need? I need to create a folder. We're gonna say CSS. Oh, sorry, that is extra S. Then here, I will going to create a file called let's say calculator CSS. And the other one, I will going to create a JavaScript. We say cal class base. This is a class base. Then extension GS. Now in here, we're going to create a container. So first thing, you need to create a parent container. We say cal container. We're going also to adopt a new CSS definition like uh, grade definition. Okay, here we're gonna add input, then we're gonna add type. I will say text. Then maybe I don't need a class. Maybe I will probably need a class. I will type cal terminal cal output. Just maybe like that. Then value, I will not add the first value. It's just empty one. And here I will add a button, a series of button like let's say type button, and then I will going to add maybe not for now. We're gonna use it 7. What is the result? 789 plus. Okay, 789 plus. I will copy this. Okay, 789. Then next is plus. Okay, plus. Then another one. 456 negative 456. Oh, 456 negative. Next is 123 asterisk. 123 asterisk, and then 0 minus division. Also minus, it's not, it's a dot. I will copy this one. We start with 0 dot division, then equals. All right, so we're gonna save, and we're going to open it here. Let's go back. Where is that? Share. Wave. Here. Okay, simple calculator class. Gonna open it now. You see here, this is the result of what we constructed. Now, this is the time that we are going to apply our stylist, stylist language, which is CSS. So let's go back here. We're gonna attach our CSS file. Then what exactly the CSS file attribute is link. Then href to link the dot, then folder, then class CSS. Then here we're going to add a rel, which is the style sheets like that. All right, so now let's go back, and now it's time for us to use our inspector. So here, this is our parent container, and the following are the other elements. So what we're going to do here, we are going to use the display grade. We're gonna say display grade. Okay, so I want the display grade is the same like this: 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. Okay, 4 columns. Let's go back here. We're gonna add a grade template columns. Repeat. So this is how you're going to apply your definition for grade. Repeat, then fr. Fr is equal to the same width and in the full width of your browser. And then what will be the next? I think I will make sure that it will not occupy the whole width of your browser. I will just put a maximum limit of px like that, or we can adjust a little bit to make it more uh, looking good. And then here I will add a gap between them. Gap, we're gonna say 10 px. Okay, all right. And then I will copy this one. Now we are going to copy first the class name, add it into your assets. Okay, gonna do that here, then say uh, display. Where is that? That's it. Then save. Then we're gonna refresh if it applies our changes to that. In here, we already linked this. I think it's wrong. Style sheets. It should be style without S. Save. Yes, that's wrong. Now, you see here, it should be overlap to that goes to the next row. So in a grade, this is can easily done. So what we need to do here, we're gonna say grade, then start column. We're gonna start from 1, then we're gonna try to end in number 3. Now you see it's moving uh, to the right side. If I will increase the end, it will occupy that columns. So that's the one thing that must easier for us to build up our uh, definition CSS. So I will copy the same. This way, this is what we call uh, I'm I forgot the exact word. There is a target for your CSS, so you will not affect other part of your class definition. Gonna do that here. I forget the exact word. It seems like mm, maybe later I will remember it. Let's refresh. Okay, so this is it. Now I think I will be adding a little more expanded to this input. I will add a height maybe 40 px. Then font maybe a bigger one, maybe 18. Okay, we're gonna copy that, put it here. Now I will going to copy the, oh sorry, let's go here. Then here maybe this is a button, and the button I will add a height. Maybe height is should be 20 px, or maybe like that. What is that? 60. And then font we will probably 18 px. Okay, then copy this and then replace to that. Save. I'm gonna refresh. All right, so now if you see here, this is now we're going to attach our event listener without specifying an inline on-click event to your element. So we are going to build our class. So let's go back to our calculator class. I mean, we are going to construct this. So the first uh, way is you're gonna use class method. Then we're going to call this class, maybe like that. Then we're going to extend this as HTML element. HTML element. Then open bracket. Now make it sure that you are going to define this as a custom element. Define. Then they have the argument, two arguments, how you are going to attach this class to your HTML uh, DOM elements. Okay, so I have to use a custom tag. Maybe I will say cal, uh, simply like that. Maybe cal. That's enough. Then here I will gonna call the class name. All right, that's it. Then now in a class we need a constructor. Most of our prototype we have to define our constructor. So the constructor will help us to inherit those what we call that, to inherit those property from your HTML. Now it requires us to add a super. So this is the ES6 version, probably ES6. Yeah, I think so. So that's it. Well, you have to specify software to absorb all of those prototype and I mean the properties. And now later we can add a different methods down to this or a function. Okay, let's go ahead in our index HTML. Now we can easily attach this script into a header, or else you can also add it before the body closing. So in the best practice, why is the reason we're gonna put in it in the bottom on here, so we don't have to enter up and blocking those first paint of your uh, web application. So we don't have to bother them or distract their rendering, because what happen if we are going to add this in our head, then it will read all of your, because especially if you have a lot of lines in your JavaScript. So here I'm gonna add a script tag, then source attribute, then the same way. Oh, sorry, this isn't okay. Why is I added? Okay, no problem. I think we have to set aside this. We're gonna add, no, should be add folder. Gonna say GS. So I'm gonna move this on this folder. Move, and then here I will add this calculator. Then in JavaScript, this is the one thing which is good. If you want this script will not also uh, blocking your first paint of your elements, then you can also specify exactly for this attribute that will help out not to interrupt them. Just continue while this script are also loaded to your client uh, device. Or you can also specify async if this is a synchronous script that really required, like for example the animation or whatever. So that is an asynchronous. You don't want like for example if you're gonna add animation, then if you want that animation will appear at first glance of your site loaded, then you should specify it as async, asynchronous. But for now I don't need that. We're gonna use defer. So that's it. Now let's save, then go back. We're gonna try if there's something wrong with our codes. Okay, it says that failed to execute. Calc is not a valid custom element. Okay, so this is the one thing that we don't have a cal element in our DOM. So this is the error that say custom element registry cal is not a valid custom element name. So what we're gonna do here, I will going to enclose this container with a cal element. This is a custom element and it will call up this element once the script are loaded completely. We're gonna save if that is really the one that pointing out the problem. I think this one should be capital. Then I will gonna save it again, then refresh. Okay, it's not defined. Failed to execute. Gonna see here. Cal define. Okay, probably we're going to rename this because I think it's too short. We're going to rename this. Maybe I will add simple cal like that. And then here, maybe there is a naming conversion. And here, what should I do is to copy that one. Then save. Hope this one will work now. Console. Okay, it's not. It seems that I might be in a wrong definition. Class element. Class HTML element. Custom element define. Maybe I will need to add this way. Maybe. Refresh. Hmm. What's wrong? Okay, well, let's go back to what I've done previously. It's the same, but here, okay, maybe we're not using the best naming. We're gonna simplify this. We're gonna do like that. Then in our body, adding to this simple cal. So this is the good thing. So you will also learn what exactly the naming convention to that element. But hopefully this one will work now. Refresh. Yes. So that's the one thing I think we could not use maybe capital. That's the problem. So I will close that. So I did already done this most of the time, but I think I was forgot to do that here now. So let's try if we're gonna name it with a capital if still work. I'm gonna do that here. Simple, simple save. Then refresh. Okay. So it seems it is not typically allowed to use a capital. So I think that's a good thing that we see it, how exactly this class definition are doing. Okay now, so I wanted to console what exactly this inheritance property will give us and provide us more objects. So this is now started of our object oriented programming and how this HTML element inherit those definition. I mean the object that is bind to that uh, HTML custom element. So it means this is the parent and this is all of the object that under to this container. Now we're gonna see how exactly it should be there if that is exists. So we're gonna see this. So this means the whole scope of your class. It's what we call this. So we're gonna save and it will see how it inherits those objects. Refresh. Now you see here, and if you're going to expand, you see all of this object. It is now bind to that custom element. Now we can easily attach or call this object by applying a data attribute to each of the element. So what we're gonna do here, we are going to add a data attribute. So you must start with data, then it will not work if getting the value to that attribute. Data, let's see value, then I will put 7. It's the same way what you need to do in the other button. Maybe one shot of changing it. Okay. Mm, Alright, now let's change that all plus 4, 5, 6 minus 1, 2, 3 asterisk, then 0, then dot, then equal sign, save. Then let's go back here, refresh, and then if I will going to click, then I want to display to this element, and then watch how we're going to apply that interaction. Now let's go back here, and in our class we see this. This is the object that we can inherit to our methods. Now I want them, all of the buttons should be associated with an event listener. So we're gonna define here, we're gonna say this uh, maybe cal button, cal btn is equal to this query. So we're gonna use query selector all. So this is another method or a property where you can call all of your, no, I think it's not a property, probably a functions or a features added to ES. So whatever version is that, I think this is already added in an older version of JavaScript. So we're gonna call all of those button. So what should we do here? Select all, maybe button. I will do like that. Then we try to console if this is working. I will remove that here. Then here I'm gonna call that button. Save. Then refresh. Now it's see they are all inherited to this object. Now we pass this button goes to our new variable or a definition of object. This is uh, an object. Pass this query goes to this object. Now we are going to bind this object to an event listener. Now what we're gonna do here, we are going to use a loop because they have a several object within to that object. It is an array that contain of those buttons. So now what we're gonna do with array, we're gonna use for each Then here I will use the btn variable. Then we're gonna use the ES6 arrow function. Then here we're going to console the log. We'll try so it will we can see how it really performs. So we're gonna remove the console other console. Then go back here, refresh. Now you see it's now displaying all of those object, and we can also get those data value later once it is added this event. So we're gonna add each of that with an event listener. So I will add a click. Then here let me use event because event it's associated with a different property of that object. So we're gonna console again. So be sure to do the console just to see how you're going to apply those inheritance. Save, refresh. Now if I were going to click 9, now it has thrown this value or this object property. So I will gonna use target. So the target means the whole object or the whole element that is thrown to this event listener. I'm gonna use target. What will be the display? And then 9. Now it went back to the same way of what we uh, console it earlier for this cal button selector. Now I want this event will be attached to a method. Now we're gonna add a method outside of the constructor. We're gonna say on click. We're gonna use that probably on click button. That's it. Then here I will pass the event like that. Then we're gonna console the log for this event here. Target. Then here, what should I do is to remove this one. Should be like that. Then I gonna do this on click button bind this. So if you want to use a method outside of your constructor, then you will going to bind to that event, to this method. Now we're gonna save. If this is really work, refresh. All right, so it's the same way what we done earlier, but I want to specify to push this value or object property to your new method added to your class. Now at this time I'm going to get the attribute. Say attribute, then data value. Save, fresh. If we're going to click, it says 8, 9. So everything is now reflected what exactly the value has to that data attribute. Now I we're going to uh, point out to this. So what we're gonna do here, we're going to define as well that output terminal. We're gonna say cal output is equal to this. They're gonna use query. Then we're gonna say what is the property here. So we're gonna call this class. Go back. Then dot. I use dot to represent as class name. Now I can call that object goes to my method because I bind all of those property or object into my new method added to it. So what should I do? I'm gonna console first if that is really true. So this cal output, I think it's inherited. So let's refresh, click. Now you see it is now passing to that a method. Now what we're gonna do here, I'm gonna say this cal output is equal to uh, this cal output plus uh, event target get attribute then data dot value save. Let's go back, refresh again. I'm gonna do that. Okay, object HTML 3. Okay, let's go back here. Oh, sorry, I forgot to add value. It should be add this value because we are going to this to change the value of that text element. I'm gonna click that. All right, so it's here. You see, you're gonna plus like that. That's it. I think we're gonna align this. Goes to the right side. Text right. Maybe I will add a little padding for px. Okay, for 8. Then here, copy that one. Go back to my class definition. And I'll do it here. Save. What's that? Right. Save. Refresh. Now it's 9. Why it's not inherited? The padding. Because I did not. I think I was not successfully copy. Save 8 plus 8. So now in equal sign, this is the one thing why what we're gonna do with this equal sign. So we're gonna add a condition to our on click. So what we have to say here. Okay, if uh, event target, we're gonna copy this right away. It's much more faster. Event is equal to equal sign because it's a string. If it's equal sign, else this will be the action. Now in here, what should we do is to calculate the value. So we have in JavaScript, we already have an method. Let's say eval to evaluate if this is a string. Then it will automatically calculate or sum or whatever operator will be found on your value mixed up with a numeric, then this will work automatically. So we're gonna save. Then what we are gonna refresh again. So if I have 6 minus 6 equals. Alright, so now it is working. We're gonna do that 8 did I think wait it's add okay, so it should be okay, that's fine. We're gonna look at that here. Mine divided by 2 should be 4. Hmm. Decimal with leading 0 or not. Okay, so it should be remove the 0. So once we add that 0, it must be clear first. Once it equals, like for example, okay, we're gonna add another element. Okay, I think it's not necessary, but this is the way we're going to demonstrate. So what if we 9 times 9? All right, I think we got a right number. Then if we're going to click a next one, then it should be replaced. But anyway, that is more complex. But here, this is what I already shown you how you are going to build your class JavaScript object oriented. So this is it. And the next one, we're going to transform and differentiate what will be a difference between the prototypal or what we call prototype object oriented in building your uh, JavaScript. All right, so let's go ahead. Now we're gonna add another bound of script. Let's add it like visible prototype prototype.js. So as what I know, prototype is more faster than the class. You can look at it, but since that I almost doing for optimization, so I know what that really performs compare with the class because JavaScript it is a prototype object-oriented programming. So it could not be, we'll say, if we are just to use the class, then it might be another added process in order to perform much better than prototype. All right, now let's go back here. So what should I do in a prototyping? It's look the same, but the different is the object is automatically inherited from here. But in a prototype, you are going to define all of those objects. All right, so we're gonna use what you call that, a constant value. We're gonna start from constant. We're gonna say cal prototype. Then here we're going to use function like that, and then here we're going to use that function here. See function, then oh sorry, should be cal prototype, then should be function here. Then we are this thing is a constructor, so we're going to define all of our objects attached to this prototype object. Now let's define our first thing. We have to call this function again. Then here we are going to create new to inherit that function. That's it. And then here we are going to call that again like a cal prototype function. So it will automatically build up during the load of your web app. Okay, so here we're gonna use the same this to inherit those property and object. So we're gonna say cal the same way what we did on the other classes. Okay, now here we are going to use document because if you look at here, it's not the same way what we did because of the this custom definition element. But here we're gonna use a document, then a query selector, then probably I will going to apply this container. Go back here, then a button. All right, so let's try if this thing really works. Okay, oh, sorry. Okay, no, I think I got a wrong way how to define it. Let's go to here. This object should be like that. Then here, I think I will do something like this. So we're gonna add a btn. Oh no, say cal btn cal. Probably I will do something like that. Then here btn. Yes, that's it. So this is the way how you're going to construct your objects to inherit with a different method. So how you are going to add a method with this? So here I'm going to add another method. We're gonna say cal prototype. Then we're gonna load. By default, you have to load all of those object inherited. So it should be function. Then here I will going to add a variable. Let me see this. So I don't want to repeatedly use this in my new method. We're gonna console if this object are successfully inherited to this new method. So if you see here, we added a new method. It's different way compared with prototype. So we're gonna save that, save. Then I think I'm gonna replace the script. Then this one at this time we're gonna add a prototype. Then here, let's refresh. It seems no problem, I think, but it's not. It is not. Okay, so what happened in our script? We did not call this load yet, this new method. So we're gonna do here this load method like that. Save. We're gonna refresh. Now you see it is now inherited this object, but it's only one object. It's not the same on the class. So you will try to compare what is the difference between them. And now let's go back. I want to attach the same way what I did on this uh, event listener. So at this time, I'm going to use that, then cal, then btn, then for each as well, es6, btn, like that. Then I'm gonna console again, just to make it sure that everything is working. Go back, let's refresh. Yeah, it works. Now let's go back again. And here, I will going to attach the event listener. Add event listener, click, then here event arrow function es6, then console log event target, save. I'm gonna remove this console, then go back, refresh 965. All right, so it seems it is working. And then in this point, we are going to get the value the same way what we did in our. So I'm gonna define another object which is the output. So document query selector, it's only one. So what is the difference between without all and there is all? All, it means you are going to search all of those element uses a button tag. But if you were gonna see query selector, the first element that uses the same tag. I mean, if what specifically tag you are looking for. Here, you're gonna see input, but that input has a specific calculator output class name. It's up to you if you can just remove simply this, and then that's fine. So go back here. Okay, so this is what we call specificity. So I remember specificity that will specify exactly what element you are calling for. So now here I will going to to bring that output to this output element. Now we're gonna do that here. So we're gonna this, then cal, then output, then value, because value will be replaced with our attribute output again, then value, then plus, then event target get attribute attribute data that value save. Let's go back, refresh. Then if we're going to click, now it is working. Plus 6, and now it's the same way. If we're going to click equal sign, then it will display the result. So here I will going to add an if statement again. So event, copy this out, then string comparison equals, then here if else, then if equals, then we are going to evaluate eval, convert those string into a numerical operation and a numeric value. Then gonna save, then refresh. If I were going to add plus 9, should be 18. Okay, syntax unexpected. Where is that? Unexpected token equals, oh, event value unexpected token. Why it seems not what we did here is the same way. We just copy this. Data value, what exactly the different? Get target is equal. We're gonna copy this one like that. Then refresh 9 plus 9 equals unquote unexpected token. Let's go back. We're gonna comment this out so we see if this is taking the value. Refresh, go back, 9 or 6 plus 6 equals, okay, so it's equal sign. Now if I will going to log that out, get attribute data value, the like this, if equal to, if it's returning to true, refresh, equals, yes, it's true. So now what is that mean? Okay, So we'll comment this again. So it's the same here, but probably this is the problem. Oh, sorry guys. So this is the problem. We're gonna say the value now. Oh, we're gonna evaluate the value from this. Alright, so that's the problem. It could not understand this error. Times plus 9. Alright, so now it is working. So you see here, we're gonna differentiate what has a big difference between them. If you see here, we consist of 30 lines, and here it's 22. But probably uh, you will find if it becomes more complex JavaScript, you will see how it is really performed. So if you want to see the performance, then you can also add in your console. I think we're gonna do window performance time then uh, completely loaded and here. So you will going to add this in your script anywhere, but you must specify that if window on load, if it's completely loaded, is equal to function, then we're gonna console, then here add that, add this object, then we're gonna refresh. Alright, so now we are going to calculate this to a variable. We're gonna use completely loaded, then maybe divided by to 1000 milliseconds. One seconds is equivalent to 1000 milliseconds. Copy that here, then I will log this in here, save. Okay, now I think we could not uh, get the exact number without comparing it, so we're gonna do other performance timing, then I think the start load event start, I think probably load event start. What else? Yeah, I think this is the one. We're going to copy this, then we are going to uh, start loaded, add to the variable, then same way, then here we're gonna subtract that start loaded, so we will see the exact milliseconds. It's 0. No way. Hmm? So it's the same. Okay, I think I made might wrong. Maybe this one should be like that, then refresh, or should not. I think this is different. Timing performance, that time. mm, Load event start, maybe. Okay, we're gonna try this. I think I already done this on my other works, but we try to do that again here. Refresh negative. So let's try to look at what my other example when I added to compare all of those performance tracker. Well, what's that here? Hmm? Calculator, simple calculator. Okay, class. Oh, I think this is the one. Hmm? Go back. Simple calculator. Maybe prototypes or guys in here. So what exactly I did? Performance start. Oh, navigation. Okay, so we're gonna copy this one. Just copy that the whole part. Let's go back. Then simple calculator class open. Then here we're going to evaluate how it is performed. Where did I? Hmm, so bad. Should be like this. Refresh. Alright, 36 seconds. We're gonna load it empty cache and hard load 35 seconds. Then if we're going to transform it, maybe there's a big difference, but not maybe sometimes it will faster or not. Maybe we're gonna refresh this empty. Oh, because I did not add this event. So what should I do? We're going to copy that and add in down to this constructor that first loaded. Save. Now refresh. So 36. Okay, so 25, 28. But if we're going to maybe probably not much that big different, but if we're gonna change it again, prototype, save. 23. So that's what I saw, that there's a little big different. Maybe it's just a milliseconds, but when it comes to uh, a lengthy JavaScript, you will find how it will cost you to your speed of your web app. So I think that's it, and I think hoping this video will help you to compose or create your own JavaScript using this different type of best practices. Either it's a class or it is a prototype. So it's up to you, and hoping we're gonna see each other again. And probably I will add a more videos soon to start how you're going to build up your career as a web developer. Thank you so much and see you next time. Bye for now.